morning, everyone. This is Gil Carter from WRUG Radio and host of the Carter Experience with Gil Carter Internet Radio Talk Show on www.wrugradio.org. We are here live at the WKNO event for Mr. Tavis Smiley. 20 years in the business, 20 years of informing us and tackling topics and subjects that most Americans overlook. We're here right now on the campus of Christian Brothers University, and Mr. Smiley is about to go into a speech. And prior to his speech, he welcomed many Memphians here at the meet and greet session, and he spoke very well of our city. He spoke to the fact that Memphis is one of two cities, Seattle being the other, in which ratings are very high for his show on WKNO. And Mr. Smiley is very appreciative, and he talked about his book that's coming out very soon.
I love this city. And I'll tell you a quick story here. We've been at this for 20 years in the broadcast business. About half of that, almost half of that on PBS. And I do not know why, but there are two cities, and they're the two cities I started this tour. So we're on a 6 or 7 city tour, celebrating these 20 years of the business. And you're about to get you get some bags or some. You leave for a second. We have a sampler of a new book. I have a new book coming out in a couple of days. It's called Fail Up, and it's about 20 lessons on building success from failure. So the book really is a book that corresponds with my 20 years in the broadcast business, and it really talks about 20 of the worst mistakes I've ever made. Now, let me be clear. My sister's here, so she will attest to this. I've made many more than 20 mistakes in my life. Many more than 20 failures have I had. But this book really talks about 20 of the worst mistakes, 20 of the worst failures I've ever had, and what I learned from those mistakes. We picked 20, of course, to coordinate with the 20 years in the business. So over these 20 years, these are the 20 worst failures I've ever had, what I learned from those mistakes. What I've learned is that anybody who is successful, and there are a bunch of successful folk in this room, I'm going to call a couple of you out in just a second, a lot of successful folk in this room, but anybody in this room who's successful, as most of you are, and any human endeavor will tell you, if they're being honest, that we learn much more from our failures than we do from our successes. Somebody say amen?
Amen.
Amen?
Amen.
Some of y'all lying already. See? As I said, if they're being honest, they will tell you they learn much more from their failures than from their successes. And so these 20 years, I've learned a great deal. And this tour is allowing me, one, to say thank you to all the people in this country who have been supporting me in the work that I've tried to do for 20 years, and to try to give something back to these people by sharing through this book lessons that I've learned along the way of this 20-year journey, mistakes I've made, failings I've had, and how any of us can fail up. I believe that failure can be a good friend, if you follow me philosophically on that. Failure can really be a good friend if you know how to embrace it, how to learn from it, how to grow from it, and go from it. Failure can be a good friend. So this book allows us to have those conversations on this tour. But this tour,
In all your visits here, what's the number one social issue that you see key to helping Memphis become a top tier city?
Education, in Memphis and every place else. In Memphis and every place else, education. Malcolm X said education is our passport to the future. Tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today. Education.
All right, hey, WRUG Radio family, this is Gil Carter, host of the Carter Experience with Gil Carter on www.wrugradio.org. I'm having so much fun here on the campus of Christian Brothers University. I just spoke with the one and only Mr. Tavis Smiley in person, and I was able to see him on his way out. He is en route to Los Angeles as we speak, but I have some great thoughts to share with you all in respect to what he talked to my fellow Memphians about, talked to us about as far as all the issues that he's covered in his 20 illustrious years of being in the business.